we will go after Kain, but not before hearing what Ariel has to say on the matter. Welcome back to Soul Reaver.
In the bowels of an inverted clockwork, the tormentor awaits. Be wary, Raziel. Those blind with rage are by destiny ensnared.
The meaning of this phrase, "those blind with rage are by destiny ensnared," is not really something that will become completely clear until the very end of Defiance. And I think that it's really, really cool. What I don't like, however, is that there is no warp gate for the Sanctuary of the Clans. It takes about 2 minutes to get here from the Lake of the Dead, which is the warp gate that you should use to get here. Now we will actually go to the labyrinth with the Enigma, which is a huge piece of fan service for those who played Blood Omen. A much bigger one than the Upraptor's Retreat. At first I think that I should go to the warp gate into Mass Territory, but instead I figured that maybe we should take one last look at the Abyss, because this is the last time we will be seeing it. And this is actually something that I never showed off. You can get down here and you can take a closer look. Unfortunately, you cannot jump down. If you jump down, you will just get this pseudo game over screen that automatically warps you back to the bottom of the Lake of the Dead where you start the game and where you load every time. I told you this would happen again. And this is it. We are at the Oracle's Cave. And this is what hints that all this white stuff here is actually snow and not ash. Because we are in the very northern part of Nosgoth. Compared to Blood Omen, the Oracle's Cave and Upraptor's Retreat are essentially reversed. While Nupraptor's retreat is basically just there to be fan service, and on the inside it doesn't provide anything interesting at all, this place is, on the other hand, a sequence of puzzles, but a damn good sequence of puzzles. Unlike what it was in Blood Omen, where it was probably the biggest torture, worse than all Soul Reaver's block puzzles combined. So the location can be kinda split into several areas, and this is the first one. And all that we're going to do at this point, for now, is going to be aimed at unlocking that door. And this here is a block puzzle, and unfortunately it's the worst block puzzle in the game. There's also bitter irony in this being the worst block puzzle in the entire game. Well, the worst mandatory block puzzle. There's bitter irony in that, because this is also the least stupid, the least one-dimensional block puzzle. This is the only block puzzle that doesn't concern simply moving blocks around and filling up a pattern or connecting pipes, something dumb like that. But unfortunately, by the time you are able to figure out how the mechanism works, you've already wasted about 15 to 20 minutes simply moving the blocks around in and out of these slots, simply to figure out which movement does what. But since I know what I'm doing, this puzzle will take me maybe 3 minutes, not more than that. But it's really unfortunate that it takes a very long time due to the fact that the movement of blocks is very slow. It's really sad. The one good block puzzle is executed in a way that makes it the worst one of all. By the way, there are normally supposed to be vampiric souls in the spectral realm here, which are, I'm guessing, the souls that used to belong to that corpse over there. But for some reason in this playthrough there weren't any, and I'm not sure why. They're supposed to be there. what this does is opens a door to another puzzle that actually opens the door that we are trying to open to progress through the cave. Although I suppose that puzzle is a very strong word for the task that is next. Because really all it involves is just constricting a bunch of pillars. Wait, is that it? Okay, I am beginning to screw up my order of puzzles and I apologize for that. By the way, yeah, this happened. I have no idea why, but finishing a move did not work apparently, even though normally it takes only one of those. I wonder why is this place filled with Tyralim? Yes, I'm sorry, I actually know why, but it's a topic for a cut content video. But basically the idea is that Tyrell was supposed to be beyond this place and... yeah. Basically Tyralim following Tyrell. Ah, this is what I was talking about, the door to another puzzle, which opens the final door. Did that make sense? I don't think it did. There's a crack in the wall there that can be opened in the spectral, that opens in Spectral Realm, but all it has is a bunch of Eldritch Energy. Yeah, I hate that you can't just continue running around the pillar to continue rotating it. No, you have to wait for a second. I'm thinking about the glyphs right now and how they do not reappear in the future games. I wonder why actually, because the idea itself is not really bad. It's just that the glyphs themselves were not really executed well here, as many other things that were not scrapped in the future games. I don't know, I'm not sure why, because they really could have given Raziel the ability to essentially cast magic. Which is, by the way, what they do in Blood Omen 2, I'm sorry, with Kain, with his dark gifts, which are essentially, they're very similar in their mechanics to glyphs here. Yeah, I'm not sure why was it done. I can understand why Constrict was removed from Soul Reaver 2, because it's useless. But the glyphs, that could have been improved upon. Although I would imagine that they probably had the ideas, but decided to scrap them for one reason or another. Yeah, I derped here. By the way, I never actually tested out the water glyph on vampires. And, well, it just damages them, but it doesn't even stun them. It just deals some damage. And that is all.
The Oracle's Cave, where Kain's first fateful meeting with Mobius occurred. Mobius played the role of a doddering soothsayer, stirring his pot of visions while dispensing enigmatic predictions to gullible visitors. Underneath the facade was Mobius the Time Streamer, sorcerer of the Circle of Nine, a ruthless manipulator with the power to bend time. Since his murder at Kain's hands centuries ago, these caves have stood vacant, though, like Mobius himself, they are rumored to be only a facade for a much larger, more elaborate complex.
And so it is.
I sensed that Kain was here, and at that moment, I would have plumbed the depths of hell to find him.
Ahem, Raziel, did you not listen to Ariel? By Destiny Ensnared. And yes, obviously this place, this cave, is a facade for a larger complex, specifically for the Chronoplast, which is where Kain is.
This, I deduced, must be the man himself, the Time Streamer, Mobius. He seemed not at all the impressive figure I had imagined from Kain's boasted exploits. And yet, even this cold image radiated a certain undeniable power.
And now we have a second sequence of puzzles, and they're all very simple. None of them, I'm sorry, only one of them is a block puzzle. And the cool thing here is that that pot of vision of Mobius, or the Oracle, quote unquote, is the biggest piece of fan service to Blood Omen fans here in the game, because it looks extremely similar to the pot and that installation for it that you can see in Blood Omen. And I think that it's really, really great. If only they would have done something similar with Napraptor's Retreat, honestly. One thing here is that while most of the puzzles here are really cool, they're also of kindergarten difficulty, and there isn't really much to say about them. Except for the fact that this one for some reason incorporates the insignia of clans, of vampire clans, meaning that this one was probably created not by Mobius but by Kain. Unless Mobius saw this coming, which he could have done. But then this raises the question of why did vampires use the same insignia? Because Kain doesn't like playing Mobius's game, whatever it is. By the way, here you just align arrows of appropriate colors with the corresponding clan symbols. Yeah, I don't really understand. It doesn't make sense. I'm trying to think, but I can't. Yeah, this puzzle is actually quite weird. Not its mechanics, but the fact that it's there and that it's a Mobius's cave, which has a puzzle based on vampire clan signs. Yeah, that is strange. I just realized that. By the way, pretty soon I will manage to accomplish a very impressive feat. I will run out of Eldritch energy in the one damn moment in the game when I actually need it. And it is not going to be fun. And this is it. Unfortunately, downstairs there is one mortal limb. And there aren't any weapons here. And Soul Reaver doesn't quite cut it. And I believe that the scene that is about to ensue will be quite self-explanatory. I try to look around for some weapons, without success. This is just fucking ridiculous. This is fucking stupid. I really hate this Duralim. And my voice is giving out. I'm sorry, I am still sick. Finally, I succeed. And all this is needed to make room for solving another block puzzle, another dumb one. Yay! However, on a positive note, this is actually the last block puzzle in the entire game. So that's good. And after this, there's only one puzzle left. And afterwards, that will be it. Then we will be set to meet Kain. But we will do that next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.